too, so let's just buckle down. All right. I call to order the Oswego Community Unit School District 308 Board of Education meeting. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Baumann.
Here.
Mrs. Doyle.
Here.
Mrs. Kroner.
Here.
Mr. Lightfoot.
Present.
Miss Morgan.
Here.
Mrs. Moyer.
Here.
Mrs. Swanson. Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No public comment tonight, so we can go right to 5.1, board member comments. Let's start with Ruth.
I
None?
don't have any comments.
Heather?
I just want to give a shout out to our transportation people, our transportation department. They've worked really hard. They've had a lot of schedule changes. I know that there have been some thoughts and comments and worries on social media related to late buses and different things, but you know, they're doing such a great job. I hope we can all continue to extend some grace during constant changes and everything. So I just wanted to extend my appreciation to our transportation people, and I think that's it.
Allie?
I'm going to say it, OE beat OHS.
Knew it was coming.
It was amazing. I mean, it was coming. It was due time. Good
Only
job.
15 years?
It was a good job. And I have committee reports. Go ahead.
I got it.
This is my last full board meeting, and as you all know me, it is no surprise I have something to say, and I will do so in less than 4 minutes. If I had to sum up all the things I believe and have learned over the last 4 years, it's this: public education matters. As you reflect on what I have to say, please ask yourself these questions. Does education play an important role in your life? How did it prepare you? With knowledge, did it perhaps provide you with long-standing relationships, friendships, a sense of community, a greater understanding of the world around you? If you answered yes to any or all of these questions, then you know how important public education is, and you know that schools give us so much more than an academic education. Yes, public schools are paid for by all of us in the community and the state with our tax money, which can be contentious since we pay sometimes for things that we don't use or we might not even like. But we still come together and say, even if you're not a swimmer, we have a pool where you can swim. Even if you're not a science Olympiad, we will pay for your transportation to go to the state competition. Even if you're not a future tradesman, we will pay for the facility for you to learn carpentry skills. And even if you're not in need of daily nursing care, we will pay for a nurse to care for you at school. We know that education has an impact on every one of us individually and collectively, and it's a different education for every person. It's truly amazing the number of things that we cover in that education. We learn science so that we can decide to do what we're going to do when the pandemic comes. We learn finances so that we can understand budgeting. We learn social and emotional skills so that when we don't get what we want exactly, we can handle it maturely. We learn music so that we can sing at karaoke night or when the curtain goes up. We learn visual arts so that we can doodle and imagine and capture images that change the world. We learn math so that we know the probabilities involved with getting a traffic ticket, risking the lives of your entire staff, and the chance that students will choose life instead of harm. And last of all, we learn history and civics so that we know that it is crucial for us to participate in a democracy and to vote in all elections. In the past, schools took on the burdens of family life for years. While parents had to work long hours or got divorced or tried to cope with the many tricky aspects of raising children, schools offered more comfort, counseling, attention, food, and assistance than was ever recognized perhaps by some in the community. During this year of the pandemic, the shift was the other way around. Families had to offer more tech help, tutoring, counseling, medical help, and socialization than they were given credit for. For this, I would like to thank all the folks at home that held and are still holding up the fabric of a public education for our students. I hope that when the teachers and administrators return to 5 days a week, they do not abdicate their responsibility to get students to the highest levels possible. Public education matters, and we can deliver it to all of our students with both kindness and a firm commitment. It matters that we both say and think this now and always. It is not perfect, but I have taught in 5 school districts and lived in more than 8, and I have known many, many of our students here and in other places, and I know that we're doing very honorable and strong work. So thank you, my sincere appreciation for the thread you weave and what you do for the tapestry of our district. I think it's beautiful, and I hope it keeps strong for many years to come, and I didn't cry, so there you go. But I just wanted to say that public education does matter.
Thank you, Tony. The only comment I'm going to make is that, again, as Tony mentioned, this is the last full board meeting for 4 of our board members, and I want to again express my gratitude for your time and service this year especially, but in all of your years of service. Hopefully you don't become strangers. And public education absolutely matters, and I think that that's the one commonality. No matter what else we disagree on, I think everybody at this table agrees that public education matters. And so I appreciate everybody giving their time to support that.
Well, I'll make a comment then, since I didn't realize we wouldn't be really commenting at the next meeting, but it makes sense.
We will.
We
but
will.
This is the
Is that
last
a-
full one, and Tony had a nice
Oh.
thing, so I
It's just
decided
the
to
last-
latch on.
Full, because the new incoming
Right.
members will have
Well-
their swearing in or whatever at the end of our.
I will
next-
yield my time back to the chairwoman, and I will hold my comments.
For another 2 weeks.
Although,
Now the formality.
you know, but marking yourself present, Mr. Lightfoot, I have to tell you, I have read Robert's Rules of Order many, many times recently, and I have noted that an answer of present is actually the correct answer according to parliamentary procedure. There is no allowance to mark yourself here. That is a practice we have taken on in our policies, but it is not technically speaking there, so I applaud your correctness.
So going forward, we should all.
We should all
Does
say
that
present.
nullify all of our
present.
participation since we
Maureen, start over. Well, it's not part of our policies.
No, and if we addressed all of Robert's rules, you would never get through the meeting.
Well, this is
Amen.
true. We could start with page 1. All right, anything else? All right, item 5.2, board committee reports.
Matt, you want to go? You want me to do it?
You got it.
Fantastic. I wrote a Post-it note because we met almost a month ago. I was smart about that. On March 22nd, we had a meeting with Val for policy and legislative. We had a presentation on the rights and responsibilities. The one big change in the code that we noted that parents, especially of junior high parents, might want to be aware of is that there is now going forward an addition of a junior high cell phone policy, which means that at all 5 junior highs, cell phones may only be used before 8 to 10 a.m. or after 3:10 p.m. So according to this policy, there will not be cell phones at lunch, which is going to start some of these little guys twitching after the year they've had. So be ready for that, because that's coming next year. We did some bus safety protocols.
We're going to need the ice cream line if you're going to
Yeah.
take away their phones.
So Dawn came in and did a presentation on what they did, and one of our members, and it's been so long I can't remember, but one of our members suggested putting up a QR code or creating a text kind of as a, if you see something, say something.
Oh, that's a good
To
idea.
kind of put on the buses. And I don't want to say it fell on deaf ears, but I'm just repeating it so it would be a little louder.
I actually
that.
think that's a
So-
great idea, because I think a lot of times people in the community don't know where to call unless they have a kid in school,
So-
if they see a bus. And I know we have cameras and stuff,
Yeah.
but
So, and then Dr. Hildebrand came in, gave us a quick sped update on policy 7:230, which is on, I want to say, I saw it somewhere tonight. Information, maybe?
No, no
No?
seven.
I don't see that
Maybe
number.
not. All right, and then 240 is on for an action item, and 830 is on for information, and those refer to board member qualifications and community relations. And we didn't really have any big changes. Done.
We're,
Ancient history.
there you go. I was gonna make a joke about if a month ago is ancient, like what are we? But then I decided not to, because that was not my quality of joke. Okay. Item 5.3.
All right, good evening, board. So I'm going to echo what Mrs. Swanson said. And last Friday night, Oswego East High School and OHS played their annual football game. And I'd like to say congratulations to the Oswego East Wolves on winning the game 14-7. It's the first time they've won the game in their history. So congratulations to all the students, athletes, and the coaching staff.
In the fourth quarter.
In the
Like
fourth quarter,
less than
that is
2 minutes
correct.
to go.
At the end of the
That's a
game.
fun game.
Yes, very much so. Last week was National Assistant Principals Week. I wanted to take a moment to thank all of our assistant principals for their dedication and leadership to our school district. We've got a very talented group of 308 APs, and I thought it was appropriate to acknowledge them this evening. And I'm also very excited to announce that a team of freshman students, Jensen Coonrad, Ethan Ashcroft, and Gavin Roman, have been selected as one of 10 national finalists in the 11th annual Samsung Solve for Tomorrow competition and are eligible for the grand prize of $130,000 in classroom technology for the school. The OE team was one out of 75 teams in the United States to be selected as a semifinalist in this year's competition, and the only school from the state of Illinois. For having reached the semifinal level, the team received $15,000 in Samsung Technology and Classroom Resource Prize Package for OE, and now as a national finalist, they've been awarded $65,000 in Samsung Prize Package and are invited to present their project virtually to live judges. There will also be 2 community choice winners who receive an additional $15,000 for their school. So to help OE win one of the community choice awards, please vote for their product. The product name is the VizWiz, which applies STEM principles to assist individuals who are blind or have visual impairments in navigating their environment without making contact with objects around them. This is a one-of-a-kind, inexpensive, smart backpack design that uses the principles of neuroplasticity to help the visually impaired to fluidly sense their surroundings. And voting is permitted once a day until Monday, May 3rd. And to find out more information on how to vote, please visit our website or social media page. So congratulations to the students that I just mentioned for being chosen as national finalists in this competition. Very, very exciting. So I think that deserves a big round of applause for our kids.
Dr. Sperlin, I want to just piggyback off. I'd spoken with one of the parents of one of the team members, and these team members are 15.
Yes, they are freshmen in high
They're
school.
freshmen in high school, but this isn't the first time some members of this group have won money. I think they might qualify as they definitely qualify as our largest student donors
Right.
to the district, just through the work and creativity and time that they're putting into this, which is huge. But they're over, I want to say, they're close to $100,000 that they have earned over the last 3 years for our school district, starting at age 11, 12, 13, which if that can tell us anything about what we can do to support our schools and what we can do to help kids learn and get things that they need, if they can do it, I'm pretty sure we can find some ways to help out some more.
Is that voting link being shared out,
Yes.
social media? And
Yes.
stuff?
Mhm.
Cool.
It's on the website. It's been shared on social media, Facebook, Twitter.
It's so cool. It's awesome.
So please vote, because we can
Please
help
vote
OE
every
win
day.
another $15,000 in Samsung technology. It's a big deal. It affects it. The technology comes back to the school. It's for all of the kids. So it's a great thing.
$15,000 of
But
technology
those kids
is.
deserve the national spotlight for that work, so,
By all means.
yeah.
Yes.
That concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, consent agenda. Any questions? Can I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve all items under consent, including 6.1, minutes from the Board of Education meeting on March 15th, 2021, open and closed session, and 6.2, to acknowledge the FOIA requests received by the district.
Second.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Ms. Morgan?
Aye.
Mr. Lightfoot?
Aye.
Mrs. Moyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Croner?
Aye.
Mrs. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 7, information.
Item 7.1 is information on one policy. Are there any questions on the information that's been provided this evening?
Not for me. Anyone else?
Nope.
That's the only informational item tonight.
All right, action items. 8.1, any questions? Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the following board policies. Section 2, School Board, 2:40 and 2:220.
Second.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Swanson? Mrs. Moyer?
Aye.
Mr. Lightfoot?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mrs. Croner?
Aye.
Ms. Morgan?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Item 8.2. Can I have a motion?
I'm sorry, did anybody have a question? I make a motion to approve the personnel report as presented.
Second.
Ms. Morgan?
Aye.
Mrs. Doyle?
Aye.
Mrs. Moyer?
Aye.
Mrs. Croner?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. Lightfoot?
Aye.
Mrs. Swanson?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please note, Matt does not want to adjourn. And 7